Okay.
Right, we should be recording now. So welcome everyone to this semester's first Discovery series. So today we will be joined by the New York City Public Engagement Unit, the communications team, and they are recruiting for two CUNY SPH students for their paid summer internship. So this is a program that we've had going on, or partnership that we've had going for a while now, and we're very grateful for their support of our students. So PEU was created to develop a new model for government outreach using community organizing principles to re-envision how NYC provides services to its most vulnerable communities. So we'll hear more about the program and the application process. We'll also hear from a current intern. We do encourage you, if you can, to turn your cameras on just so we can give our presenters, that undivided attention. All right, so with that, I will turn it over to our presenters for the day, and you will also receive a post-event email after this in Handshake, so don't forget about that.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Maya. And thank you everyone for being here today. We really appreciate it. And we're excited to talk a little bit about PEU and the work that we do. We'll start with a round of introductions. So I'm Kristen. I'm Director of Communications at the Mayor's Public Engagement Unit. I've been with the Public Engagement Unit for more than 4 years now, almost 5, and I've been with the city for about 9 years, working in various communications roles. I have my master's in public administration, and I have had a long background in specifically digital communications and public service in particular. So with that, I'll pass it to Liz.
Hi, everyone. I am Liz. I'm the Deputy Director of Strategic Communications at the Mayor's Public Engagement Unit. I've been on the team for almost 4 years now. Prior to this, I was working on the 2020 Census Initiative with the city, and I have my master's in media studies and a background in graphic design and video production, and really excited to have this opportunity to speak with you all today.
Leandra, I know you'll have a chance to introduce yourself more later, but do you want to just give a brief introduction to yourself as well today?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. My name is Leandra. I'm one of the interns for the spring semester. I'm with CUNY, and my concentration is community health.
Amazing. Thank you. So first we'll do a bit of an overview about PEU, and then I'll talk, and then I'll pass it to Liz to talk a little bit more about the internship. And as mentioned at the end, Leandra can talk a little bit about her experience and how it's been for her. And we can all answer any questions that you might have about the internship. I just want to kick it off with a quick video about PEU, and let me know if the audio doesn't work.
I'm not getting the sound.
It's not.
No
Yeah.
sound? Okay. Hold on. On pen autoplay. Let's see if I can figure this out. Share computer sound. Okay. Okay, sorry about that.
PEU is different than a lot of other government agencies because our model is to go out proactively and engage with people in the community. We have a tenant support team, a housing support team, a get covered healthcare team, and a special projects team. Teams work across all of the different resources that New Yorkers need. We help people get access to healthcare, we help them address issues that they're facing with their landlord, and we even help people connect services when they're facing eviction.
We're here to help New Yorkers navigate the complex bureaucracy that exists and that prevents them from accessing benefits.
And the core work to do is making sure that New Yorkers, whether they've been here a month, a year, or 50 years, understand the services that are available to them. Most New Yorkers aren't aware that there are over 70 programs out there, 70 programs that people may be eligible for.
I remember assisting a caller, and she was just so appreciative and thankful of our services because she wouldn't have known how to navigate and do the research that we were able to do for her.
I educate folks, I answer their questions for them. I try to make them as comfortable as possible. So let them know that these are the things that we have implemented in place for you, and we can, in fact, assist you.
We were founded in the belief that every New Yorker should have access to the benefits that they need, and we have to ensure that they know about the resources and benefits that exist. Our specialists speak many languages, and they are here to help you access the services and benefits that are available to New Yorkers regardless of their immigration status.
I like the work that I do, I like the people that I work with, and I'm proud of that.
We might be called the Mayor's Public Engagement Unit, but we belong to all New Yorkers.
So that was just a bit of an overview, a visual overview about what we are, who we are, and what we do. So we were created in 2015 under the de Blasio administration to develop a new model for government outreach using community organizing principles and to provide services to New York City communities. Rather than expecting constituents to navigate a complex city bureaucracy to get the help they need, PEU adopts grassroots tactics to meet residents where they are. So on their phones, at their doors, in their social media feeds, and in their communities. We combine this proactive outreach with comprehensive case management to provide New Yorkers with personalized and in-depth assistance. And our mission is to identify underserved New Yorkers using innovative outreach tactics and tools and provide them with hands-on support accessing critical benefits and services. Our vision is through proactive outreach and personalized support, ensure that underserved New Yorkers are aware of and can easily access the critical benefits they need to thrive. In doing so, build New Yorkers' trust in city government. So what are some outreach strategies that we use to kind of execute our vision and meet our mission? We do direct phone calls. So we use targeted data to reach New Yorkers proactively and offer them information about benefits and services. We also do paid social media campaigns and coordination with community and ethnic media. This helps to drive clients to our events, get people to our tabling locations, and also help support with increasing benefit applications. We do door-to-door outreach to reach particular clients or a segment of a targeted outreach list, not reachable by phone, and to have face-to-face interactions. So we might know a neighborhood is in critical need of a certain resource, and we might go door-to-door in that neighborhood, for example. We might do a text messaging campaign to scale our outreach. And so this means that we can actually do one-on-one assistance by phone, by text message. And our specialists are the ones who are sending the text and also doing follow-up if there's any, inquiries that come as a response. We also leverage city strategic partnerships with city agencies, elected officials, and community organizations to table at their offices or attend their events. We can provide a place to direct clients to as well. If sometimes electeds might come to us and say, how do you solve this problem? What can we do? So we partner a lot with different offices and agencies around the city. So where are we? You can see on the yellow star, that's actually our main office. It's in Chelsea, 260 11th Avenue. PEU Comms, though, sits at the bottom of Manhattan at 253 Broadway. So for the intern, that we would have them come to 253 Broadway. So that's kind of the main office for communications team. But we do often go into the field in all 5 boroughs. And we're often at 11th Avenue, our office in Chelsea, to meet with staff who are there, since most of our staff sit at that office. But we do have offices in East Harlem and Brooklyn and Queens as well. So this is just like an example to show you where the work is. So we are also working across all 5 boroughs. This is kind of just showing where our clients come from, where are the people that we reach in the different program areas. So you can see that we're essentially in every borough and doing outreach in every neighborhood. So this is just a little nitty gritty, I guess you could say, and like, who is PEU? Like, we're the Mayor's Public Engagement Unit, but where are we in the organogram of the city? So the Public Engagement Unit sits under the Chief of Staff of the Mayor. I will say too that sometimes this is fluid because, for example, right now we're in the middle of a transition. So right now the Chief Engagement Officer is replaced actually by the Commissioner of the Office of Mass Engagement. So there's some, slight changes, but like in yellow on the bottom right, next to PU, those are our quote unquote sibling agencies like NYC Service, CAU, CEC. We work very closely with those offices and agencies. But we do sit under HRA, and which sits under the Department of Social Services, which is actually kind of great for us also because we focus so much on benefits, and that is the agency that actually that disperses the benefits, and then we support by helping people access the benefits. So we're getting the word out about those benefits and raising awareness about them, but we sit under the agent fiscally, we sit under the agency actually that is the one that disperses the benefits. But we report up to the mayor through the Chief of Staff's office. So who we are, and I'll pass it to Liz now.
Yeah, I'm happy to share a little bit more about the structure at PEU and who our teams are. So it's really broken up into 2 categories. One is our outreach team, which includes the home support unit, the tenant support unit, and our special projects team. These teams are out in the community, just like the maps you saw, in neighborhoods in all the boroughs across the city. We also have support teams. This includes the admin team, employee management, IT team, data team, the comms team, which is our department, the policy team, as well as intergovernmental affairs and community-based organizations. So we have a liaison for each of these areas that connect with community members. And now diving in a bit more to the tenant support unit. TSU, or the Tenant Support Unit, helps New Yorkers maintain safe and stable housing by providing assistance to tenants who are experiencing eviction, landlord harassment, repair issues, pests, and so much more. Specialists conduct proactive outreach to connect New Yorkers with benefits, programs, legal assistance, and community resources. So this team is made up of our tenant helpline, where New Yorkers can call 311 and connect directly to one of our specialists if they're in need of support. Also, we have a rent freeze team, which focuses specifically on rent freeze and homeowner tax exemption programs. And then our outreach team, which is out in the community and doing ongoing case management. And then next, we have a video with a former staff member and their story to just share a little bit more about the work.
When I was 7 years old, I had actually come home from school one day to find that my family was actually being evicted from our home. At that time, I didn't really understand what was going on. All I could really understand was seeing my own clothing, my own furniture, my own mattress on the floor outside on the curb. It really changed things for me that day. I oftentimes think that that's actually the end of my childhood. That was the day when I started realizing how things really were in the world. My name is Ariel Miranda. I'm an Inwood resident, and I'm also a tenant support specialist. When I was a kid and I experienced that really terrible situation that I got put in, it made me really aware of things from a very young age. And when I was given the opportunity to try and come into this office, it really made me feel passionate about the work that this office would do. People are constantly worried that they're not going to be able to stay in the community that they've grown up in. I think there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to try and assure the people here in this community that there are services that can help them. When we go out into the community, we're going door to door, knocking on every single door that we're passing by, talking to people about what's actually available for them if they need assistance. Me coming from this community and being able to speak the language that a large majority of this community speaks is very helpful, especially for historically underserved communities like Inwood here. It's definitely been needed to help them better understand what is available, because oftentimes they've sort of felt as they couldn't really connect with as many people. And that's something that I feel is very important and very needed here.
And just something about that video that I think is really special. You can see that Ariel has lived experience related to the work that he does. And I think that's something that across all of our teams, many of our staff members have been beneficiaries of the resources, programs, and support that PEU provides, and are now on the other side of it, where they're helping New Yorkers access resources and benefits that they themselves have experienced navigating. So I think that's something really special about our team. And now going into the Home Support Unit, or HSU. HSU works with real estate agents and landlords who are willing to lease vacant apartments to voucher holders living in city shelters. Specialists conduct outreach to recruit new units, manage individual portfolios with vacant units for owners and agents, and help them navigate the rental process. And the Special Projects Team, or SPT, provides added capacity to PEU's other outreach teams. They also are flexible enough to take on new projects and in response to emergencies and city priorities. So our team on the regular basis does benefits access work, providing comprehensive benefit screenings to New Yorkers, in addition to taking on city priorities. Some of these projects have included response to Hurricane Ida, for example, or a fire in the Bronx, different issues that come up when the city really needs outreach support. Our special projects team is able to jump in and mobilize to support New Yorkers. And I'll pass it back to Kristen to get more into PEU communications.
Thank you. So we are the communications team. We're a tiny but mighty team. There's about 4 or 5 of us who are full-time staff, and then we have an AmeriCorps member and 2 CUNY interns. So we do a lot of great work across a variety of different communications areas. We help build PEU's brand and support PEU's outreach work by managing the social media accounts, designing materials, running ad campaigns, connecting with other agencies, and organizing press outreach and events. A few, core areas that we have are, we have press, where we're working on strategy, events, media advisories, press releases, preparing talking points. Then we have digital, which is sort of more design, social media, video, photo, graphics, our website, our newsletter. We work with some digital media spaces that are out in the city, like Link NYC and Taxi TV. And we share these resources often with many, many partners. And then for print, we also design flyers, posters, palm cards, swag, and we kind of support our outreach and support team so that they can do their best job with print materials. And then just to give you an example about one of our recent press projects.
Well, it is considered one of the most famous block parties in the whole country. Part of Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard came alive with music, dancing, food, and more.
And you can catch all the fun until August 17th. Good Day Stephanie Bertini takes us to summer streets in Harlem.
busy and vibrant Saturday in Harlem, with DOT closing streets to traffic, including Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard between West 110th Street and West 125th Street as part of the NYC Summer Street celebration. Harlem Week setting up its events in the area with the main stage lining West 125th.
I love Harlem. I work in Harlem. I teach at Harlem School of the Arts.
And today, Tamia Johnson is performing in Harlem, part of the list of events during Harlem Week.
From Harlem, I love it. This is my first year here in New York. I love the free concerts.
Free concerts and much more, attracting those new to the city, tourists, and longtime Harlemites like Mary Pruitt.
So you're a big supporter of Harlem Week?
Yes, I am.
What's the best part for you?
Music. Music and the people.
Seeing everyone come together, right?
And all the time.
Mayor Adams in the crowd, initially making an appearance at the Benefits on Your Block event, also set up in the same area, where people from the community can learn about what's available to them as New Yorkers.
Enjoying being out in Harlem, and we're here with Benefits on Our Block. What we're finding is that far too often we have so many benefits. How you doing, ladies? Good to see you. Good to see you. Far too often we have so many benefits that people are not aware of.
New York City and all things Harlem embraced on this Saturday.
Are you guys having fun so far?
Yeah, we're having fun.
From children to adults enjoying fun and entertainment right in the Harlem.
So that's just to give you a sense of the kind of summer events that we have. In particular, right now it's a little cold, so we haven't been able to do these kinds of events since about October. But in the summer in particular, when this internship will be happening, these are the exact kind of events that PU will be at a lot. We are often in community events. This was, for example, Harlem Week and City Streets. And then we were able to join their event and have a whole block basically called Benefits on Your Block, where people could come and enroll in benefits. And the PU comms team helped in doing press around this. This is an example of one press hit that we had in the in the fall. And we're actually in the summer. This was right at the beginning of the Benefits on Your Block series. And we did the flyers, the materials, all of the social media content around Benefits on Your Block. And so this is just one really great example of like it really, I thought, gave a lot of color to the kinds of events we get to go to and how we'll have tabling, especially a bigger event like this one for Benefits on Your Block. And we're hoping there'll be new initiatives, especially with the new mayor. We're, changing certain aspects of the work that we do, like maybe Benefits on Your Block won't be exactly the same, but there'll be a new kind of tabling program. So we're really excited to see what's going to come up this summer. I bet it'll be even like bigger and better, honestly. Another area that we focus a lot on are our client stories. So we really try to highlight and focus on different kinds of stories and experiences that our staff have either, had the privilege of working with certain clients in the field and sharing their story with us, or sometimes we've been really lucky to get to talk to and meet with these folks and share their stories directly. So you'll see some of the work that we get to do behind the scenes as an intern, collecting stories, managing those stories. So it's a great, it's one of my favorite parts of working here is just hearing about the different client stories. Oh, actually, I didn't realize it would click to this, but let me
It was the hardest time for my daughter and me. We were both on health insurance through the city, but it ended a few months ago. My daughter has disabilities and needs several medications. Paying out of pocket was impossible. I ran out of money. Then I met a Get Covered NYC specialist from the Public Engagement Unit in my neighborhood. They gave me coupons so we could afford her medications, helped me complete Medicaid forms, and scheduled appointments to get her immediate coverage and evaluated for disability benefits. Thanks to this support, my daughter now has Medicaid and access to programs like adult daycare. In a time when I felt completely alone, someone showed up and stood with me. That made all the difference. From a devoted father.
So here's an example of a story that we were able to share where we didn't necessarily have, it wasn't, we didn't have the rights to share the person's name, image, or likeness, but we were able to still, share their stories that more New Yorkers in a similar situation might be able to reach out to us after hearing that story and think, oh, this might be for me too. So those are the kinds of creative, different stories. Sometimes it's photos based, sometimes it's video based, and sometimes we share stories in writing form on our newsletter. So there's a lot of great different ways to share stories, and I definitely recommend checking out our website. And then here's just some examples of graphics and photos and or how our social media looks. I also encourage folks to check out our social media channels. A lot of what our interns work on is coming up with ideas and creating posts for us for social media. I'll punt it back to you, Liz.
Yeah, just to cover some of the tools that our comms team uses, we use Hootsuite for tracking social media analytics and scheduling social media posts. We also use Slack for communicating quickly within PEU as well as with social media managers across city government. We use Outlook email for communicating outside of PEU. Google Drive for managing files, Monday.com for project planning and task management, and Adobe Express for editing videos and creating graphics. All of these tools are really helpful for us in our everyday work. And as an intern, you'll be able to, if you don't have experience using any of these tools, it's okay. If you have some experience using some, that's great. But you'll be able to access training and demos to learn how to use these tools for your work as an intern with our team.
And I might just jump here to mention, if you do have any experience with these tools, please do mention it on your resume. But just like Liz said, it's okay if you don't have experience. It's not a requirement, but it's definitely good to know. So be sure to put it on your resume if you do.
And just some more about the communications intern role. PEU, again, is seeking 2 interns to begin in summer 2026. This summer, interns will work 20 to 34 hours per week in a hybrid structure with at least 2 days per week in the PEU communications team office at 253 Broadway in Manhattan. Interns may also be asked to support different events across the 5 boroughs or perhaps at one of our other office locations. And interns will receive ongoing training, hands-on experience, and the opportunity to develop their professional skills while supporting PEU's communication director and outreach teams. And then these are just some examples of tasks that you may be asked to support with as an intern on our team, from drafting and managing social media content, including posts for PEU's different social media channels and toolkits to share with partner organizations. Also designing communications materials such as graphics, flyers, and digital assets used by our outreach teams across the city. We have an amazing graphic designer on our team that helps with this, but we often need help developing these materials. Also supporting press and media work. So maybe assisting with press releases, statements, talking points, and other written communications. Our team also has many specialists who speak different languages, and we do try to do outreach in different languages. So if you have language skills in a language other than English, that was also a great bonus to include on your application if you're comfortable doing work in another language. And we also do tracking news and events. We monitor relevant coverage, research community events, and circulate updates to our team. And then collaborating across teams. I would say this is really something that kind of is important across all of the different work that we do, working closely with Kristen and myself, our outreach staff, and as well as coordinating translations and special projects. So we do a lot of collaboration with not only the outreach teams that I mentioned earlier, but also our support teams at PEU. And then lastly, here are some skills and experience that we're looking for from a communications intern. These would be really great things to highlight on your application materials as well. We're looking for strong written and verbal communication skills, ability to manage multiple tasks in a fast-paced environment. I think eagerness to learn and adapt and problem solve is really important in this role. If you have any experience with social media in a professional or organizational setting, that is definitely preferred for this role. And a plus would be any graphic design, video, or photography skills. If you do have experience with any programs that you use for graphic design or video, please note them for us. And again, multilingual applicants are strongly encouraged to apply. We work with New Yorkers who speak so many different languages, and so that really is a strength to have on the team. And please highlight any languages that you speak, read, or write on your resume. And then lastly, the timeline. So everybody is aware the application window is open now and it will be available on Handshake until February 15th. We expect to conduct interviews and do reference calls in March, and offers are expected to be made in early April. And we're looking for a start date for interns to be in mid-May to mid-June. And now I would love to introduce again Leandra, who is our current PEU intern, to just share a little bit about her experience with the internship so far before we open it up to questions.
Hi everyone, I'm Leandra. Sorry, I sound a little weird. I woke up really sick today for some reason. So this is my third week with PU, and it has been so excited to see how we can show up to New Yorkers from all boroughs in different ways. My first week, I started to see like how the team work and like all the different things that we do throughout like around the boroughs. And one of the first project that I did and that I'm still working on is ID NYC. So how can people in New York City use their city ID to get free stuff, get discount with city programs and stuff like that. And right now, my other two colleagues, which are also interns, we created videos about different museums that you can go for free, different activities you can go for free with the ID NYC, and also discounts that you can get if you use the ID. As of now, since next month is Black History Month, we are also coordinating around. We are also looking to see what other events people can go to with the ID NYC, and we're also canvassing around the city regarding like the different programs that we had to offer. This is the first time that I'm gonna be with outreach work, so I'm really excited for that. It has been like a very collaborative environment, and I'm eager to learn more. This is my third week, so that's all I have done so far, which sounds like a lot, but it's so nice to see like how everyone is so excited to give like the different things that the city have to offer that I didn't eat. I was raised here in the city, and there's so many benefits that you're not even aware of because they're not advertised as often. And with PEU, I feel like it takes care of that gap and people are more aware of the programs that the city has to offer.
Thank you so much, Leandra. We really appreciate it. And we would love to open it up for questions for anyone that you might have, whether it's about the application process or if you have any specific questions for Leandra about the things she's worked on. We're happy to answer any questions that you might have now.
No questions from anyone? Well, that's okay. That means that the presentation was extremely detailed and and covered all the bases. Um, I know there's a question in the chat now asking about fall and spring internships. So maybe we can start there.
Yeah, so we do offer fall and spring internships. We will be, I'm not sure what the timeline is for recruiting for those, but Leandra and our other CUNY intern are now on for the spring. And we've had interns for the last couple of years now, actually, and we really love the program, and we really love working with CUNY students. So, definitely, if this summer doesn't work out, keep an eye open, because in the summer we will be then recruiting for the fall.
Are there any other questions anyone has? Well, why don't Leandra, I'll ask this question to you, right? Because you've been through the application process. So I know there was a slide on, about strong qualities for applicants, but speaking directly from your own experience, what would you recommend students add or include in their applications?
My point is, I would say definitely if you have any graphic design experience, because that's something that will be very convenient and beneficial to use as part of being part of the intern, or if you have any managing experience with applications like Monday.com too, because it is very essential to know like how to use it. And even though you can learn along the way in the internship, is very convenient if you know how to use a similar system like that.
Maybe I'll echo something Leandra mentioned too, which is, definitely think about what kind of communications experience you have. It could be, one of our interns had kind of hit it, and she didn't mention on her resume that we happened to interview her, and I was asking a lot of follow-up questions. And then I found out that she actually manages her church's WhatsApp and makes all the flyers for her church. So that's like directly relevant experience. And I often find, specifically for the internship program, but frankly, even when I hire more senior roles, sometimes I really feel like I have to dig and in the interview to find out that this person has directly relevant experience. So I highly recommend, think about the clubs you're in at school, think about your church, or maybe your building and you help with flyers, or think about what are some communications projects that you've done, and make sure to highlight them and put them on your resume if you've uncovered them. And I would also recommend put them at the top. I often find people think of club student group experience as like something to put at the end of the resume, but if it's comms related, put it at the top. Put it as the first thing. I know maybe that's not a best practice in other industries. If you have a lot of relevant experience for something else, you wouldn't necessarily put the student group activity at the top. But if you don't have any comms experience, or you think you don't have any communications experience, but you have been the public affairs person on your e-board for your student group, or you are the president of your student group and have to do all this outreach, put that at the top of your resume and make it very clear how it's communications related, because I find people either don't include it at all or they bury it all the way at the bottom. So please don't do that. Put it at the top.
Great. Thanks, Kristen. That is really important. I think we always tell students to, even the smallest experience, you might not think that it makes a difference, but there's definitely ways that you can always reflect those transferable skills on your resume. So that's really important. And always, just making sure that your interest in the position is known. That's definitely important as well. Okay. So are there any other questions? Right. If not, I want to thank our presenters today and thank you, Leandra, for speaking with us as well and sharing your experience, and good luck with the rest of your internship. I put a link to an evaluation survey in the chat if you all can fill that out, and you will also get the post-event email through Handshake, and that will include the recording and then the link to the Handshake posting where you can look at application instructions and apply. So thank you all and have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.